Welcome to this week's episode of Biz Success in 15, where top experts share hot tips and strategies that you can implement in as little as 15 minutes to build your dream business. And now here's your host, the Visibility Wiz, Cindy J.
Hi, I'm Cindy J, the Visibility Wiz, and welcome to this episode of Biz Success in 15, where top experts share hot tips and strategies that you can implement in 15 minutes or less. Today, our guest is Jacqueline Pirtle, and she is the founder of FreakyHealer.com. Her passion for happiness shines through in all of her work as an accomplished energy healer, mindfulness happiness coach, and best-selling author of 365 Days of Happiness. She has helped hundreds of clients shift into a high-for-life frequency where they can reach happiness anywhere at any time. Welcome, Jacqueline. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Cindy. This introduction, it's wonderful. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited too. Excited to talk about happiness. Let's all get happy.
I know. It's a big part of my life, I tell you.
Yes. And I know even though you're the happy coach, you still have had your own struggles and challenges in your life. So can you explain one of the personal or business challenges you had to overcome in order to achieve your own level of success?
Of course. I mean, first of all, in the physical life, it's normal that you feel struggles and that you have them. I'm no different in that one. It really is the approach you're taking it, right? That you how you handle and deal with it. So I would say the biggest realization and the big wow moment for me was when I realized that I am my business and my business is me, and my business matches the energy I'm in. So if I feel like it's going nowhere, or if I'm, tired, overworked, stressed, don't enjoy it, or if I feel like it's not enough abundance in it, whatnot, it's like it really shows me what is happening inside of me. The business matches my energy. If I feel great, if I'm happy, guess what? The business will open up and is able to match my amazing high for life energy and then go somewhere, right? And that was the biggest realization. I can go out there and fix it in the business, which is in a physical way, and a physical experience, but it's not going to be long lasting. What really lasts is if I say, oh, wait a minute, what's happening in my business? Oh, that's happening in me. It's mirroring me. And then I go and shift my energetic being, how I feel, how I think, how I am, for me, and then the business will match that. That was my biggest realization when, hard times hit, right?
I love that. Absolutely. I love what you said at the first, that you are your business is you. And then I forget exactly how you said it, but I can never repeat something verbatim after somebody said it. But it really struck a chord with me, and I absolutely love that. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it matches me, but that's also amazing, because that means that I actually, if I accept and open up to that responsibility, that I'm in charge, it's very powerful. So I can shift myself when you practice it. I can shift myself within split seconds, which means the business shifts itself too, and it's not even hard work. It just makes sure that you feel good.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Thank you. Can you give us what your definition of happiness is?
Absolutely. The definition, and I've proven this to many people, myself. I've tested it in all my ups and downs, lefts and rights and whatnot. I cannot tell you how much sure I am about this, is that I am happiness. And happiness is me, and we're never ever separate. So it's a super duper cool package here, because wherever I go, happiness is right there. You might ask, well, what do you mean with that? What I mean with that is that you never have to go search for it. Happiness to me is my breath, right? My breathing, every breath in and out, that's my life. That's like what makes this all possible. And that is happiness. When you really tune into your breath, how much it wants you to live and experience and feel good, or your blood pumping through your veins, right? That is happiness, right? And then of course, then it's like find something, I find something that I really like on my outer being, on my physical being, and then I focus on that, and that's happiness. And then I have always chocolate with me, right? When nothing else works, I pop in a piece of chocolate, and it's just this, this indulgence into this chocolate. That's happiness. Like the birds that sing out there for you is happiness. The smiles that you give and receive for happiness. Serving somebody is happiness. So happiness to me comes in many ways, in many shapes and sizes. And that's really what happiness is. Are you feeling good? And it starts within. And then you recycle it, you manifest it on the outside or create it in the outside. And then you recycle that back with feeling it and really being aware of it. And then it's just constant happiness in, happiness out, happiness in, happiness out. And to me, that's happiness. It's not something you do, it's something you already are.
Right. I love that. And I know one of my favorite quotes has always been Abe Lincoln, a man's about as happy as he makes up his mind to be. And some people are like, well, you don't know what my circumstances are. You don't know what my life's been or how crappy this is or blah, blah, blah. So let me repeat that. Or you don't know the trouble that I have in my marriage. You don't know the trouble that I'm having with my kids. You don't know my past. There's absolutely no way I can be happy. And Abe Lincoln's crazy that it's a choice because I'm not choosing all of these things. So what do you say to these people?
Well, it's no matter the circumstances that anybody has, everybody, that's called physical life. It's the experience. That's all it is. It's an experience. And we all have our backpack of traumas and hurts and pains and problems and whatnot. But the thing is the way I see it and the way I live my life is that everything happens for me. And if it happens for me, it's a gift because it helps me shape me, my experience. It helps me, let's say you have a physical ailment, that's your body talking to you, which means it's for you, which makes it a gift. And if you listen and you take really the time to understand and then to also follow, of course, what your body is telling you, then it all turns into this shift, into this gift, and you come out of it in a much, much bigger way, which makes it, no matter your circumstances, if you really go deep and listen to it, it's just acknowledge what's happening without judging. It's not good or bad until you make it or say it's good or bad, and then go from there. And then you accept, you respect, you appreciate, you think, and you love what's going on. And from that space, you can then say, oh, wait a minute, I'm not doing this for me, or I'm not taking good care of that part in me, or not eating well, or whatever it is. And then you get a chance to really get super duper close to you, which means no matter the circumstances, it's all really a gift. It really is.
I completely agree with you.
And a choice too. I'm sorry.
A choice,
it's a choice too. It's like it's a choice.
Too.
Yeah, it's a choice to say, that's it. I'm going to make feeling good my priority, no matter what's happening. I'm breathing. Focus on your breath. If nothing else feels really like you could be happy on the circumstances, feel your breath. That's why you're here, right?
It's interesting because the body, can heal itself. The body, to me, is one of the most amazing things. My great nephew, when he was born, his pancreas didn't work and he almost died, and he was on massive medication. And when he was around 5 years old, the doctor said that his pancreas was working again. And it's like, really, to me, it's like, a lot of people, wow, that's a miracle. But I think he had no preconceived judgments.
Yep.
He was just being a happy little boy, and his parents never focused on his illness. They just treated him like a happy, normal boy. And I really think, that all ties into being happy and looking at the gift. He was just a happy little boy. He didn't care what was going on, and he healed himself.
That's wonderful. And a story like you just shared happens every split second in the world right now. Why not for you? Why not for you? And it's possible. You can do the same. You can do the same thing. Yeah.
a lot of people, they say, oh, I'm happy in my life, but my business, I don't have enough clients. I don't have enough money coming in. I have too many bills. I have to learn this. I have to find somebody for this. And so some people get totally overwhelmed whenever they're running a business. So how can they bring happiness into their business?
With realizing that the business is matching up their energy. So if you say, oh, there's not enough money coming in, that shifts your whole being, your body, your mind, your soul, your conscience. It shifts it into not enough. It is not abundant enough. There's not enough there, which means your business will match that energy. And it's like this cycle, right? And in order to shift that is you shift yourself. Start looking at abundance that you have, right? Every breath is abundance. Your blood pumping through your body is abundance, right? In the morning that you get up and you stand on your 2 feet, it's abundance. To drink the coffee, oh my gosh, there's so much abundance for me, at least in a cup of coffee in the morning. Or the birds that are singing. Focus on all abundance that is already there and really shift yourself to feeling it and become aware of all abundance in you, around you, outside of you, and that will shift your business into abundant frequency too, because it matches your frequency. So if look at what's not working from your thoughts, look at what's not working in your company, what you'd like in your business, what you'd like to change, and then acknowledge it. But don't judge, no negative words. Try to keep your thoughts under control and really just acknowledge, okay, there is not enough income right now. It's an acknowledgement. And then stop right there. Stop right there. I accept it, right? I accept it. I respect it. I appreciate it. I thank it. And I love it. Love it is usually the hardest part, but you can love your the money that's not there that you wish. You can love that situation because you know what? Because that situation is there, you actually get to go out there, shift yourself into a more abundant well-being. With that, you get to come out even bigger than before. So once again, it's actually a gift. And then out of that neutral state where you don't resist anything, anymore, what's going on in you, in your business. From there, you can say, what could I do? Send your intentions out there. Say, tell the universe what you'd like, right? And visualize and feel it. And then move on and be active about it. And from that state, usually what happens is that you will have many more different opportunities just flying in from you didn't even know that they were there. Or you will have inspirations, ideas, because you're not cluttered with resistance or pressure. It has to be a certain way. And that will be my biggest thing. Shift yourself away from not accepting, and then the world will open up to you.
Sounds great. And I know you say that being happy can be exhausting. Why can being happy be exhausting?
Yeah, I hear that all the time. It's just so tiring and exhausting to always be happy. Jacqueline, how do you do it? And you know what? It's like, I don't do it. I am. Right? Mm-hmm. If I do happiness, then I constantly run after it. Well, what else could I do and find and whatever create to be happy? But if I am happiness, I don't have to run after it. This is who I am. Right? Just like I have red hair. I don't do red hair. Then I always have to go, there was a good situation. I always have to go color my hair. It takes time. It takes, money. I got to find the right color, the right person that does it the way I like it. It can be exhausting to be a redhead that way, but I am a redhead. So you know what? I don't even think about it anymore. I am a redhead. It's never exhausting. And that's the same with happiness, right? If you are happiness, it's never going to be exhausting because it just feels good and you constantly regenerate with it, right? From the inside to the outside. And so it's only exhausting if you do happiness.
Right.
But if you are it and you live it that way, it's like energizing. It's you. It's another thing is maybe to look at it is like, what is it really when you want to be happy, right? What is that? That means you want to feel good. Well, with you being in this physical life, your birthright is to feel good. You're not here to suffer. You're here to feel good. You're here to be happy, which means you wanting to be happy means that you wanting to be more you. Now, it's wonderful. I love that. I would love for everybody to want to be more them. And when you feel good, that is who you are, which means it opens up everything for you.
I really enjoyed that explanation, and something really caught my attention is you said they're trying to run towards happiness, but then I would really have to question. I know with anything in life, we're either running towards something or away from something. And the two can get confused in our minds because usually they're not really running towards happiness. They're running away from the situations, believing that running away from the situations is going to make them happy. Because as you said, happiness is just a state of being. It's a choice. I am happy. I am happiness. That's who I choose to be. And then it's not hard being happy because you're choosing that, and that's who you are each and every day. So, so I really enjoyed that explanation.
Yeah, maybe to add something on that, okay, let's say you are running towards happiness and you're chasing it. As long as it feels good for you to go chase it,
right,
it's happiness. There's nothing wrong with it. But there is that moment when things just, you can even, when you're aware of it and you become really in tune, you kind of shift to something feeling good and suddenly something doesn't feel so good anymore. That's that moment where you want to catch and say, wait a minute, I'm done chasing. I am done chasing. It served me well. Now I'm just going to breathe and focus on the happiness that I am. When you catch that moment, that's really the trick.
Oh, moments. I love moments. Yes. And moments is what makes our life. And what would you say are the top 3 secrets to being happy?
The top 3 secrets is to basically be pressure-free. Like live pressure-free. Live a pressure-free happiness. Let go of any expectations in how happiness has to be for you. And has to show up and knock on your door. It comes in many ways, shapes and sizes. You know, a smile can be happiness, a piece of chocolate, your breath, or a good cry can be happiness. Feels really good sometimes, right? So just let go of any expectations you have. And then the number 2 would be to create a resistance-free happiness for you, right? Where you acknowledge what's going on, the things that you consider good or bad. Acknowledge, no judging, accept, respect, appreciate, thank, and love what's going on. And out of that resistance-free space, what am I going to do now? And so many new things and new ideas, inspirations, or whatever. Somebody just calls you and says, hey, and there is your solution. Because you are not resisting it anymore. You opened the floodgate to whatever can be for you. And number 3 is to really take good care of you as a whole being. Because you're a body, take care of your body. Because when you take good care of your body, you are going into high for life frequency physically, right? And your business matches that, right? Take care of your mind, right? Acknowledge all thoughts you have. And the ones that don't really help you or make you feel so good, try to start to shift them, acknowledge them, no judging, and then shift them to a better feeling thought. And it's a practice, right? You practice it, it becomes your normal way of thinking. That shifts you in a high for life frequency, which means your business can match you there. And then also to really nourish your soul. Your soul lives in your heart. So the more heart touching things you do, you know, when you watch children or a baby or a furry animal you touch, or the sunset or anything that goes, it goes straight into your heart. Practice that. You know, make it an importance and a priority to do this, 3-10 times a day. Because when you do that, you touch your soul because you nourish your heart. And the last part of that whole being of yours will be consciousness, right? Focus on what's going right for you right now. And your breath is going right for you right now. You know, somebody's smiling at you. And if you cannot find anything, go make yourself a good cup of tea and smell it, or anything that you can create, and focus on that with that means then as a whole being, it's like this powerhouse of you being happy, feeling good, your business will match you there.
That's great. I know one thing that I've shared with my clients a lot, especially when I was coaching divorced women, was whenever you're feeling down and you want to get happy, have a picture. If you have a picture of like your baby or your grandkid, or you have something from your past that really fills your heart with joy, that's going to bring you out of it too. And so it doesn't even have to be like, you were talking, get coffee and tea. I love that because I love the smell of coffee and tea, because that does bring it this whole another sense.
Yeah, doesn't it?
It's like, I used to keep a picture. I still have a picture on my cell phone. So if I start feeling down and want that instant shift, I look at the picture. It's an instant shift.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. And everybody has something like that. Doesn't have to be super complicated.
Right.
it can be a color on your phone or something, or a song or anything really. Just when it doesn't feel good, realize that you can make a choice right then when you don't feel good to shift yourself, and just use whatever is out there that helps you shift yourself.
Exactly.
Don't hold back.
Be happy.
I know. You deserve it. You really deserve, and you're in charge to do it. Anybody can do this. Anybody.
And I know that you've lived in Switzerland for a long time, and then also you've traveled to a lot of different countries. And do you see any common habits that happy people have?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe not in every country that I've traveled, I've seen that, but in a lot of them, people are just very connected to life, to nature, to life, to themselves, to food, right? They have a relationship with what is in their awareness. Absolutely. A lot of countries have also really strong bonds with their families. And they have I wouldn't say a lot of friends. It's just very outgoing. And I also see that a lot of times, happy people, they just love to be outside. They go active, they move, right? They move their bodies, they move, because when you go outside, and even if it's a walk or a run or a bike ride or whatnot, you don't just move your body, you move your energy, you shift your mind, you have new experiences, you have new feelings, you have all these experiences that are really meant for you to live. And that's certainly something that I've seen, it's probably like connected to the little things, right?
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. And Jacqueline, can you share a strategy that our listeners can implement in 15 minutes or less to grow their business?
Yes, it all starts in the morning, or if you're having a night job or whatnot. Whenever you wake up, how about that? Whenever you wake up, right there on the spot is your chance to set the tone of your next time of your day of going working on your business. And so you can make a habit. That's also part of why I wrote this book, right? It's most people have it next to their bed, and the first thing they wake up, they take my book 365 Days of Happiness, because it's daily passages that you can then practice throughout the day that shifts you into your high for life frequency. So they take the book, they read it, and they took that shift. They set the tone for the day right. It's just a high for life frequency. So when you wake up, you read a passage of my book, or you just, while your eyes are closed, you say, this is, and already, and it's going to be the best day ever. And you feel that, you really feel that. It's going to shift you right away. And then, so to me, and that's what I personally do, is just, I really put an importance on these first few seconds when I wake up, right? And then when I put my feet down, I crawl out of bed, I feel my body, and I acknowledge how my body feels, right? Without any judging. How is my head? How are my hands? How is my back? Right? And just kind of, and send it some love, and be really aware of what's happening in me as a whole being. And then gratefulness, it's like, so then I put my feet on the floor, and then I'm just, thank you. thank you for this day, for my breath, for being here, for this experience. And when you go through that, it takes 5-10 minutes. That's it. You are made for the day, and it will carry your energy throughout your day. And just take little, maybe set alarms, little check-in alarms during your day. All it needs is 3 of them maybe. And when the alarm goes off on your phone and you say, how am I? Am I still the way I woke up when I set that tone? Because if it's anything less than that, you can shift yourself right back there again, and on you go. And that you can, it's a practice that will take over, and it will make it normal to be that way. And then your business can match that.
Right. I've heard most of those, but I've never even heard or thought about really tuning in, like, hey, what's my foot feel like? It feels great this morning. Wake up. What's my hands feel like? Hey, I'm happy I can move my hands. Hi, Cindy. Good morning. No.
There we go. And I tell you what, see, look, not only did you just create love for your body parts, but you also created giggles. And these giggles, it fills every single cell of your whole being, right? And even though it may seem silly for some people, but I tell you what, you can chit chat. I'm a chit chatter, like master chit chatter. You can chit chat with everything that's out there. I talk with my food. I talk with my kids too, and my husband. But I also talk with the birds. I talk with my hands. I talk with my headache. If I wake up and have a headache, I'm gonna sit down, have a nice cup of tea, and have a tea party with my headache. But not to dig in deep and I want you to go away. I don't like you. No, it's like I have a headache. I accept. I respect, I appreciate, and I love you. Now, what are you wanting to tell me? And then I really didn't follow, right? I didn't drink enough, or I'm too tight, or whatever comes, and I follow through. So the headache then can release itself. It's not that I want it to go away, right? It's like I never, ever want anything to go away in my body if I want to give it space to be as long as it needs to be. And that creates a resistance-free being, and then it can release itself.
That's fantastic, and that's where you're finding the gift in it.
Yep, absolutely.
As you're asking it, hey, what is it you want to tell me? I'll sit here and I'll talk to you as long as you want to talk.
Yeah, and really tune in to become aware. And it really is, you are your business, and your business is you. If you shift your energetic well-being into a high for life frequency, your business, your customers, your community will match that. And it's effortless. If you think about it, it's effortless and it's long lasting, because all you really need to do is focus that you feel good. And when you don't feel good, acknowledge it. No judging. It's all good. It's just another possibility to become a little bit deeper and stronger, to stay in your feel-good frequency, right? And then shift yourself back, and everything is good again.
Great. The great information. I love talking about happiness. You're such a wealth of knowledge there. And I know that you have a fantastic gift for our listeners. Can you share what it is?
Yes, absolutely. I have a link. I think you're putting it into the show notes, where you can download my book, 365 Days of Happiness, in a PDF form for free. And I hope you enjoy it. And if you like it, go to Amazon and Goodreads and please leave a review. These reviews, carry the book far and beyond to people that could really use it, but maybe not know that it's out there yet.
Right. Thank you. And that's a wonderful gift. And so to our listeners, you want to head on over to bizsuccessin15.com/JP, Jacqueline Pirtle. So it's a little lowercase JP, bizsuccessin15.com/JP, and get your free copy of Jacqueline's book, 365 Days to Happiness. You download that PDF right now today, and tomorrow morning, when you wake up, you can read a piece of it and set your own tone for happiness for the day.
Absolutely.
You'll also be able to re-listen to Jacqueline's words of wisdom and happiness and download this episode so you can listen to it at any time. So Jacqueline, do you have any parting words for our listeners?
Absolutely. You deserve it. And with it, I mean, you deserve to be and live your happiness. It's your absolute birthright with being here in this physical life to enjoy your life and to experience your happiness, and then go out there and be it and live it and just enjoy it and spread it and show everybody that it's possible. It really is possible. You deserve to go do that.
And regardless where you are in your life, believe me, I have been through the depths of hell and I have turned it around and be happy. So regardless where you are in your life and your business, you do deserve to be happy, and you can create your own happiness by following Jacqueline's words of wisdom. She has, to me, some of the simplest outlines of being happy that I've ever heard. So if you enjoyed today's show, you want to be sure to share it with your friends. And Jacqueline, I do want to thank you very much for being my guest today. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you, Cindy, for having me. And yes, if you and I can do it, everybody can do it, right? Yes, absolutely. I believe in everybody.
Yeah, I do too. I believe in everybody. Exactly. And to our listeners, you want to go ahead and visit bizsuccessin15.com/JP. You'll find all links from today's show. You'll be able to download it, re-listen to it at your convenience, catch up on past episodes, and be sure to grab Jacqueline's gift, your free copy of 365 Days of Happiness. Big hugs, and be sure to tune in next week to another Biz Success in 15. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
You've been listening to Biz Success in 15. For all links mentioned in today's show and to watch or listen to previous episodes, visit bizsuccessin15.com. Thanks so much for listening, and be sure to tune in next week for another amazing guest.